Agatha has been a dedicated cook for an Indian family in Lagos, Nigeria for over 5 years. Living in the boys' quarters of their grand mansion, she had become more than just a staff member. She was family. They loved her deeply and she loved her job. So even when she got married and became pregnant, she was reluctant to let go of her work. But as her pregnancy advanced, especially by the 7th month, Agatha struggled to keep up with the chores. Her employers noticed and out of concern and affection advised her to find someone who could assist her temporarily, someone who would live with her and return home once Agatha resumed fully after childbirth. They couldn't imagine replacing her and wouldn't hear of her leaving. So Agatha began the hunt. She told friends, neighbors, and anyone willingly to help that she was looking for a lady, preferable, someone willing to learn and assist her. This was the early 2000s, a time when mobile phones were not common in most parts of Africa. So messages were sent the old-fashioned way, letters, word of mouth, and hand-delivered notes. After a few months, a friend sent words to her about someone. Her name was Elizabeth. Agatha invited her to Lagos and picked her up at Apapa. Elizabeth was peculiar. She was tall, bony, and painfully skinny with long, skeptical fingers. Agatha's first thought was that she was sick, but Elizabeth quickly dismissed that. "This is just how I've always been," she said with a hollow smile. Despite her odd appearances, Agatha felt she had no choice. Time was running out. She brought Elizabeth home and introduced her to her employers, who approved of her. If Agatha trusted her, that was enough for them. At first, everything seemed fine, but little things began to shift. Elizabeth had a strange sleeping habit every night. She would lie flat on her stomach, face down, and remain in that position till morning. When Agatha asked her about it, she simply said, "It's how I sleep best." Then there was the tree at the backyard, a large old tree that had stood quietly for years. But now every midnight, birds would gather, strange birds with haunting eyes. They flew around, screeching and flapping as if summoned. This had never happened before. Still, Agatha dismissed it. Maybe she had never just paid attention before. But then her pregnancy extended. 9 months passed, then 10. No labor, no pain, nothing. By the 11th month, Agatha was beyond worried. Hospital scans showed everything was fine, but she thought something wasn't right. Her belly had grown impossibly large, and moving became nearly impossible. Her husband, who lived in a different part of Lagos, supported her from afar. She would visit him on weekends, but now even that had become difficult. "I need to see my sister in Ajegule," Agatha told him one day. "Maybe I'll feel better. The hospital said I'm fine, but I'm not." That week, a young girl was sent from the village to assist Agatha. She could barely move now, and any help was welcome. After spending a few days with her sister, Agatha stopped by a store to buy water before heading home. The shop owner noticed her enormous belly and asked out of curiosity, "Madam, how many months gone are you?" 11 months, Agatha replied. The woman gasped. "This is not normal. I know a native midwife who lives just across the street. She's powerful. Maybe she can help you." Her sister insisted they visit the woman. As soon as the midwife laid eyes on Agatha, her expression changed. She stared deeply into Agatha's eyes, unmoving. "You are a walking corpse," she said gravely. "Your burial is already being planned in the spiritual world. A feast is about to be held in your honor. Your unborn child is meant to be sacrificed. Innocent blood is needed for an evil initiation." Agatha's mouth went dry. She stared, not understanding. "Your son is a great child," the woman continued. "He is fighting, but what kills you lives with you. You are living with a dangerous, evil woman who wants your child. Your baby's neck is slowly being strangled with your intestines. That's why the hospital can't see anything." Agatha blinked, her heart pounding. "Who are you talking about? What woman?" "You doubt me?" the midwife said, shrinking. You think I'm fake? Let me help you. Her name is Elizabeth. Agatha's blood ran cold. She hadn't told the woman anything about Elizabeth. How do you know her? She asked in a hushed voice. She lives with me, but she's not evil. The midwife chuckled darkly. You don't know who lives under your roof. She's not ordinary. She's a bloodsucker. We don't cross paths in the spirit realm. She's a destroyer, but I will not let her take your life or your child. Tonight, you will give birth. Agatha was frozen. It all sounded like madness, and yet it explained everything. Tell your sister to get the items I will need. Your baby will come tonight by midnight. Agatha told her sister everything. The sister, who had been waiting outside with her younger niece, Mma, listened and said, do what the woman said. She's known to be powerful. The midwife instructed Agatha to walk around the compound to help open her birth canal. Meanwhile, she began preparing spiritual medicine, roots, herbs, and protective charms. This was not going to be an ordinary delivery. It was war. Agatha called her husband from a payphone and left a message at his workplace, praying it would reach him in time. At midnight, the midwife brought Agatha into the sacred bathing room. She rubbed native herbs over her belly and gave her a concoction to drink. Instantly, pain shot through Agatha's body. Her screams echoed in the night. Labor had begun, violent, intense, and consuming. The woman kept going in and out, chanting incantations and battling unseen forces. The baby is coming with the legs first, she said. We have to turn him. She inserted her hand into Agatha and rotated the baby in the womb, sweat pouring from her face. Then she shouted, push! With a final agonizing scream, Agatha delivered her son. But he didn't cry. The room went silent. Agatha's heart nearly stopped. The midwife slapped the baby, shook him. Nothing. She placed him in a cold water. Still no sound. Agatha wept, thinking she had lost him. But the woman disappeared into her temple and returned with ground alligator pepper. She prepped open the baby's mouth and shoved it deep into his throat. Suddenly, a loud wail pierced the night. The baby cried and cried, louder than any newborn they had ever had. It was the cry of the living, the cry of a warrior born through fire. Everyone rejoiced, Agatha, her sister, and little Emma. It was a miracle, and deep in Agatha's soul, she knew the battle wasn't over. After the spiritual battles that had taken place, Mama turned to Agatha and said, first thing tomorrow morning, I'm going to the market to get what we need. Elizabeth will come unexpectedly. She lost the battle last night, but that doesn't mean she will back down. She paused and looked Agatha straight in the eyes. But while I'm gone, don't let her touch the baby. Don't even let her carry him. And most importantly, don't let her touch the baby's palms, she warned sternly. Agatha pauses and doubtfully replied, but how will she even know I've given birth? Who told her where I stay? I don't think she will come here. Mama sighed. What you don't know is beyond you. Elizabeth is not an ordinary human being. She's everywhere. Do exactly as I say. I'm on my way now. Agatha still wasn't convinced until she heard a knock on the door. There she was, Elizabeth. She stepped in confidently and headed straight to the baby, but Agatha laughingly, nervously blocked her way and said, he's sleeping. Suspicious, Agatha asked, Elizabeth, how did you know I have given birth, and how did you find my location? Elizabeth laughed, but her laugh no longer sounded warm. It was cold, wicked, and evil. I heard from someone, she said carelessly, so I came immediately. Now Agatha could see the darkness in her eyes, the forced smiles. And why aren't you at work today? Agatha asked, still observing her. Oh, I got a message that my brother broke his leg. I'm going to see him, she replied. Just then, Mama walked in, and it was as if she had seen a ghost. The room suddenly became unbearably hot, and as their eyes locked, Elizabeth dashed out, mumbling that she'll be back, but she never returned. Mama turned to Agatha. "Now you see who you have been living with?" Agatha nodded slowly, shaking. "But how do I go home when she's still there?" "Don't worry," Mama assured her. "You can't drive her away easily, but you must be brave. The battle is spiritual. When you get home, I will tell you exactly what to do. Then she will run and never look back." A few days later, after a short stay at Mama's house, it was time for Agatha to return. Mama gave her strict instructions. "Take this," she said, handing Agatha a small bottle. "When you get home, scatter your bed and mattresses, sweep under the bed, rearrange the room, put this under your pillow and under your son's as well." She handed her another bottle. "When she comes back from work and lays down to sleep, sprinkle this all over her room. Then watch what happens. But no matter what, don't let her touch your baby." Agatha nodded firmly. She was ready for the spiritual battle. She would not allow anyone to steal her job, her peace, or her son. Back home, Agatha did everything Mama instructed. As expected, Elizabeth returned surprised. "You didn't tell me you were coming back. I would have prepared something," she said, visibly tensed. "We are fine," Agatha replied, but with authority. When Elizabeth tried to carry the baby, Agatha stopped her immediately. "I don't want anyone touching the new baby for now," she said firmly. Elizabeth could feel the command in her voice and backed off. She went to take a shower and lay down to sleep. The moment she did, Agatha got up and sprinkled the water. Instantly, Elizabeth began scratching her body, tossing and turning. "What's wrong with this room? It's so hot," she shouted, even with the fan spinning. Unable to bear it, she ran out and slept in the garage. The next morning, she left quietly for work. Later that day, the gateman Obi came to Agatha. "Madam Agatha, did you chase Elizabeth from your room last night? I saw her sleeping at the garage on the floor. She said your baby was crying, but I wasn't convinced." Agatha smiled. "Don't worry, Obi, that's exactly what happened." But Obi wasn't satisfied. He left, still curious. Night 2, Elizabeth came home again. The baby cried and she tried to carry him. Agatha blocked her. "If he didn't cry at the hospital, I wouldn't have brought him home," she said coldly. "Let him cry." Again, Elizabeth went to bed and Agatha sprinkled the water. Again, Elizabeth ran out screaming. She spent the next 2 nights sleeping in the garage. The gateman kept noticing, but Agatha asked him to mind his business. Now, Agatha was fed up. She wanted her gone for good, so she waited. That afternoon, as Elizabeth returned home from her lunch break and went into the room to rest, Agatha walked in quietly and poured the spiritual water directly on her. Elizabeth screamed like she was burning. It was as if acid had been poured on her skin. She ran off. She had been trying to harm them, but the chance Mama gave and placed under their pillows had protected them all along. Elizabeth never returned. Days turned to weeks to months. She vanished, but still, bears came to their compound every night. Agatha returned to Mama and told her everything. Mama shook her head. "When you get home, pack everything that belongs to her. Don't leave a single item. Take everything to a 4-sided junction and drop the bags there. The bears are her members. They hold their meetings on that tree near your house. As long as her belongings remains inside, their queen mother still has access." She gave Agatha another charm to tie around her neck and her sons. Agatha did as instructed. That night, the bears did not come. The battle was finally over. On the day of the naming ceremony, her son was named Azubike, which means "I have strength behind me." And truly, Azubike lived He grew strong. He grew protected. He grew with power behind him.